One of the interpretive frames, for example, that I love to teach my students and I love to get them to think about and talk about is the myth of the hero. So a kind of mythic frame. What are the big stories that connect us as human beings? And when we go to stories and and look for meanings or look for answers, one of the things that an author named Joseph Campbell argues is that there's this myth of a hero that is across cultures and is fundamental in stories, and we get resonance for it because we identify with the hero's journey. And so, for example, he talks about it having 3 stages. And one stage, the first stage is called separation, where the ordinary person kind of gets a calling for some kind of an adventure. So, and one of the wonderful things you can find, if you look for it, is an interview with Joseph Campbell talking with Bill Moyers about Star Wars and how the Luke Skywalker story fits this myth of the hero. So Luke gets separated from his familiar surroundings. He follows Obi-Wan Kenobi out into space, right, into the journey. And then the second stage is what Campbell calls initiation. So the hero has to be initiated into all of these trials, right, and tests that the hero has to face. And so those can be all kinds of things. For example, the one that fits with Star Wars is having to reconcile with the father and meeting the mother or the female figure. And so in Star Wars, you've got Princess Leia, and at least in the original story, and you've got, of course, the Darth Vader story, right, and Luke's connection. And so the hero goes through these trials and gets the knowledge and the ability to really be the leader, and to embark on sort of the quest for overcoming the evil or whatever the story might be. But the third stage is the hero has to return from the trials and the tests with this new knowledge, and not just keep it for him or herself, but bring it back out to improve the world or improve the culture or to help other people, right? And so Campbell talks about how sometimes heroes don't make it back, right? They sacrifice themselves, or they get eaten up by the evil force, which we know is what happened to Darth Vader. He started out good, but then he went evil, right? He went to the dark side. And so it's a really interesting theory to think about, right? Because so many of our stories, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, and right, you can think of all of our big superhero movies and our Avengers movies, and right, all of the comic book characters. What's interesting too is playing around with, is it different if it's a female hero, for example? So does it fit with Wonder Woman in the same way that it fits with Luke Skywalker? So you can do so much with that theory to think about what Campbell says as we go to that, to find answers about challenges that we're facing in our own lives. And so we identify with these heroes, and it helps us see how we can overcome our struggles and how we can come out the other side. And that's why that myth connects us so powerfully.